So here are two guys, and one of them is stronger than the other is, and I'd say they're smarter too, and whatever. I think in every way they are better than the other person on like whatever you measure. This other guy always is always better than the other dude. These two people are hanging out, and people need stuff. So people need things, certain things. So they need food, they need housing. I would say they need some type of entertainment or work or something to keep them interested. And if this guy he builds a house, I can imagine he can build a very nice abode for himself. I'm sorry, my drawings are going to be crappy because mouse issues. I mean, crappier than normal. And he can build a nice house for sure. This guy, maybe he can build like a mud hut or something, whatever. But they're still going to need it. They're both going to need it. And the strong guy, better guy, he might always be looking at the other guy and be like, what a dumbass. He can't get anything really done and stuff. Or at least not as efficiently as he can, because he is skilled. Now, remember, this doesn't mean that this guy is like a complete imbecile or anything. He's just worse. He's not as good. And whenever you do something, just generally, I would say that having two people do something rather than one person more than doubles the sort of the efficiency and everything of it. So if you want to build a house, one person building a house is going to, oh my gosh, is going to take a long time, and it's going to be harder than it sort of has to be, because you have to walk in, bring in some type of like all the material, then you have to put them up, and maybe sometimes it's not as simple to just hold on to something and then start putting it together and things like that. If you have two people working on it, it's going to be much better to build it. It's going to be much more efficient. So if the strong guy is like, well, he's worse than me, so if I help him build his house, I'm going to contribute more to his house than he is going to be contributing to my house, which is true. So if you measure it that way, you will be giving more into this direction than this direction is going to be giving to you. However, what it neglects to take into consideration is that it contributes to building your house. So if both of these people build their houses, let's say that it takes 3 days for this guy to build his house, and it takes like 5 days for this guy to build his house. If they would build their houses together, they would be done with both houses, let's say, in 3 days or less. So from this, you can say that, well, this guy worked on 2 houses. Sure, but he also worked on this house, and together they created 2 houses in much less time than it would have taken for them to achieve this goal. So let's say they have some common goal. Let's say they want to do some industrial venture. Both of them want the same thing, so they need something. So if he builds a factory and then he builds a factory, then they have 2 factories doing the same thing, and they are competing with each other. And this factory, of course, it's going to not be as good. So probably this factory is not going to be as successful than this factory. So again, the better guy, he has better things. But if they would both input into the same thing, so a common goal, a factory, the factory would get built a lot sooner. They could switch who's working there. They could plan it, because he can contribute. So everything is not on this guy's responsibility. They can share responsibility, and everything is just going to function a lot smoother because both of them are connected. They'll know exactly what both of them need. They can have a single meeting and just handle everything that needs to be handled. And now they have a successful factory, a more successful factory than with two. So you can think of it in many ways, but now let's say that they both build their factories. This one gets built and demolished and abandoned. So all the resources that went into this one are gone. It was pointless. And this guy is lacking the input from this guy. So even though he is winning in a sense, which doesn't really make any sense in this situation, he's not actually making the best out of what he has. So let's take another example where you have a community. So let's just draw a landmass right here. And you have the better guy, and he hangs out like right over here. And then you have this guy, he hangs over here. And then you have this guy who is an entity that is hostile to all kinds of things around. Now that you have this sort of global system, you know that this guy is very hostile. He doesn't care about anything really. He cares only if it benefits him, or he's very inconsiderate, or inconsiderate is not the right word. He's very like extreme, chaotic neutral in a sense. So he might or might not destroy everything. So imagine it this way. Now, in this scenario, which is very, I'd say, realistic, it describes the like just global situations, any tribal situation very well. So imagine now if this guy said, no, we're not going to work together with these people because we're better than they are. We are going to work with these people over here to the right because they're powerful and they have all the things that we need. Let's say this person is still better than this guy is, but they have more things. They're better prepared and so on. So what can easily happen and what will happen is that at some point, this chaotic neutral guy is going to take what's here. And now the situation is very bad for this very capable and able person because they did not understand what was better for them on like a large perspective. They were too obsessed with their superiority and trying to convince themselves and everybody else about it. So they're sort of proving that they are superior, and while doing that, they are digging their own hole. So they're showing how fast they can dig their own grave in a sense, which is, it's something you can do, definitely. It sort of feels pointless because both of these people would have benefited from doing things differently. And now the only thing that benefits is the chaotic neutral guy who might or might not overrun you. But usually with things, if something doesn't happen for, 1,000 years, then it only takes one time for it to happen for everything to get destroyed. So then you can do it the other way. So this blue people, this guy contributes less than this guy in every conceivable way, but they still, contribute something. So once they are cooperating with each other, they become much stronger than this chaotic neutral entity could ever be. So under this new system, or this different system from the previous one where everything just gets eaten up and then destroyed by the chaotic neutral thing, is that you create a mutual, let's say, defense. So you have, that's supposed to be a spear and a shield, and both of them contribute. This guy contributes more, but together they are larger than they would have been alone, either of them. You can create the factory together. And then you can also have a dynamic system where if, you can do things by yourself as well. But if you have things that you all need, it is better to work together to achieve them and pool all your resources to get something better, bigger, stronger, faster, and what other adjectives there are. Goodbye.